Bunzy'S bloke!
Okay, so here's a question for you. What was your favourite video game of all time? Now, you know, your favourite or what you think is the best video game of all time. Now, I know we're going to get loads, hundreds or at least one comment from someone who says Call of Duty. Yeah, the latest Call of Duty or the latest FIFA game. Or, what are the other big ones? The latest Grand Theft Auto. And Grand Theft Auto I can kind of understand, but yeah, Call of Duty I suppose I can understand, and FIFA I can understand. However, yeah, really think about it, because with things like FIFA, it's kind of the same game, isn't it? So if you're going to choose FIFA as your favourite game of all time, fair enough, but why? Yeah, and was there a particular edition that was your favourite game of all time? Because I think a lot of them are very similar every year. You know, ooh, recently they added women players, which, you know, okay, so they've got a women's face and, you know, a woman's face, and yeah, great, they've got a woman's face, you know. What's different, really? Not a lot. As for Call of Duty, it doesn't change that much, does it? Every year it's kind of the same game. One year, you know, they set it in the future and you could jump, and before that it was just kind of mainly World War One, World War Two, and then they did the Modern Warfare ones. But for me, when I think of favourite games, I don't think you can pick a franchise necessarily. You have to go for a particular game. You know, with the Grand Theft Auto games, for instance, my favourite Grand Theft Auto game ever is not Grand Theft Auto 5. It's not the latest one, because there's stuff that you can do in other Grand Theft Autos that you can't even do now. For me, my favourite Grand Theft Auto has to be Grand Theft Auto San Andreas on the PS2. And the reason that's my favourite is because it has features that they've just taken out and not put back in, which I think is such a shame, because they were so much fun. You know, anyone who hasn't played it will think I'm lying, but there was actually a feature in it where you could go to a burger shop, eat loads of burgers, and your character would actually visibly get bigger, get fatter, which was great. And if you had too many burgers in one go, you basically just vomit everywhere on the screen, which was funny. And you know, if you're getting too fat, you could then go to the gym and do some exercises, do some weights, do some running, and guess what? You'd get skinnier. Or if you were running a lot in the game, you'd get skinnier. So you could kind of constantly change the shape of your character, which I thought was brilliant. I also liked the way the missions were. I liked the fact it was, you know, set in that time. It was, yeah, I like the fact that part of it was in, you know, their version of Las Vegas, which I can't remember what it was called, and then there was the LA bit, you know, with the gangs, and you could recruit different gangs. That was awesome. You know, and a lot of those features are gone. Some have remained. Another feature that I loved about it was the fact that you could go into a betting shop and you could place bets on horse racing, and you could bet all your money, and then if you won, you'd you know, obviously have more money. But also, I like the fact that you could cheat slightly. And yeah, if you're about to play it, if you're a retro gamer and you want to go back and play it, here's a great cheat for Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. What you do is you get all your money and you go into the betting shop, which is in Los Santos, I think it is. And basically, you bet all your money on one of the horses in the horse race. If you win, obviously you do it again, and you keep, you know, betting all your money. And I think you can bet up to like 99,000 at a time. So, you know, you can bet a lot. But if you lose, before it saves, turn the computer off. Turn the PS2 off. And guess what? It hasn't saved the fact you've lost your money. So then when you turn it on and load the game again, you can try again. So every time you lose, you turn the PS2 off really quickly. Bosh, before you know it, you've got $999 million and you can buy everything in the game, which is great. So I love that. I love games with weird little extra things like horse racing and things like that. But yeah, that's one of my favourite games, but not my favourite ever. Now, my favourite game ever has to be GoldenEye on the N64. I loved GoldenEye to the point that I think I probably wasted, me and my mates, because I had a couple of friends actually, Stephen Rubin, who used to come around all the time. We'd play GoldenEye like the whole of the summer holidays. We just wouldn't do anything apart from play GoldenEye, which was terrible. We were the whitest people ever with no vitamin D. Honestly, we looked like zombies and not much has changed. But we'd play GoldenEye the whole time in my room. It was awesome. And I got so good at GoldenEye, the multiplayer, which was sort of four-way split screen like that. I got so good at it that I could actually kill someone about 7 times before they could even move. And the way I did it was with proximity mines. I knew where I knew the game so in and out that I knew where the spawn points were. And I didn't even wait for people to spawn. I'd just go around and put proximity mines everywhere. It used to drive Rubin mad until he learnt where the points were as well, and then he'd do it to me and it drove me mad. So it was a bit unfair, but you know, that's what friends do. If you can't wind your friends up when you're playing a game, what can you do? And I think that's the best thing about video games, isn't it? Being able to like not only beat your friends, but then taunt them. Yeah, taunt, I love, oh, it's the best, isn't it? Unless someone's doing it to you, and then it's the worst thing on earth and they're a dick. But, you know, it was great. I loved it. And, yeah, the other thing I loved about GoldenEye was because obviously they built it so it was based on the film. And the multiplayer was, even now, you wouldn't have Call of Duty without GoldenEye. The way they did it, it was just amazing. And if you've never played it, try and get hold of a copy. It's awesome. And they tried to stick to the film on the different levels. So the first level is very much like the opening sequence of GoldenEye. However, they also had, on the multiplayer, if you'd done the game on, I think it was Agent and then O Agent or 00 Agent or whatever, but if you got through to, I think it was 00 Agent, and you actually complete the game, which was incredibly hard on that level, you would actually open up Moonraker levels and you could play as Oddjob or Baron Samedi from Live and Let Die, which was amazing. Sadly, it took me and my friend Rubin probably, oh God, we must have attempted the last level in order to open up the Moonraker levels, and there was another level which I can't remember what it was, but the Moonraker level was the one we wanted. We must have played this level about 600 or 700 times before we actually got through it. But do you know what? I loved every minute of it, and when we actually did get through it, it was the best feeling ever. It was so good. And you know, people say, oh, 60 quid or 50 quid for a video game is a waste of money. Yeah, you could say that, but you know, you go to the cinema, you spend a tenner, don't you? You know, and even then, if you went to the cinema, you'd probably spend a £5 a ticket. Whereas I probably got about 10 million hours of game time out of that, and I'm not exaggerating, of course I am exaggerating, but you know, you get the point. It was amazing. I love GoldenEye. Wow. Memories. So what's your favourite game?